Presiding.
Keep seated. We'll go on record on the court's morning docket on Monday, June 30th. And the first matter court call is file 25-0138PZ, City Michigan versus Rodney Allen Heartline.
Right here.
I'll see.
Nick? This matter is on the court's docket. A petition for restoration of rights was filed by Attorney Ralph LeBray. Attorney LeBray is here on behalf of his client, Mr. Hartline. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. And Attorney Ronnie, Assistant Prosecuting Attorney Jason Ronnie, is here on behalf of the people. The petition was filed, for restoration was filed on March 24th, and there was a response filed by the prosecutor's office by Attorney Ronnie on May 9th. Are the parties ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Attorney LeBray.
Thank you, Your Honor. We would call Rodney Allen Hartline.
Mr. Hartline, can you raise your right hand, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm under penalties of perjury that the testimony you have given in this matter now pending before the court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Could you please state your full name for the record, please, and spell it so that we have proper spelling?
Rodney Allen Hartline, RODNEYALLEN HARTLINE.
All right. And Attorney LeBray, you can inquire.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Hartline, do you currently reside at 19040 McKinsey Street in Cassopolis, Michigan, 49031?
Yes, sir.
That's Cass County, Michigan.
Yes, sir.
You have a prior felony conviction from Cass County, Michigan under 08-010090-FH-B. Is that correct?
Yes.
And you were convicted of operating or maintaining a lab involving methamphetamine in violation of Code 333-7401.
Yes, sir.
You were also convicted of possession of methamphetamines, second-degree child abuse, and maintaining a drug house. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
That was all affiliated with that one case.
Yes, sir.
Another case that you had received felony convictions were from Berrien County, Michigan under 2001-411425FY. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
That was for check fraud for insufficient funds.
Yes, sir.
You were sentenced to 45 months for the offense listed in Cass County, correct?
Yes, sir.
And for the check fraud, you were sentenced to 15 days. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Have you served all of your time?
Yes, sir.
Have you done all of your probation in both of these cases?
Yes, sir.
Have you paid all of your fines and costs associated with both of those offenses?
Yes, sir.
Or is there any current open issue regarding either of those cases?
No, sir.
Do you currently have any criminal charges pending against you?
No, sir.
Have you been convicted of any other criminal charges since those cases?
No, sir.
You have successfully completed all conditions of your probation or parole imposed by those violations that I previously listed.
Yes, sir.
How old are you?
49.
Do you have any mental health diagnosis?
No, sir.
Any thoughts of suicide?
No, sir.
Any physical health conditions?
None.
Do you take any prescriptions?
No.
Do you abuse alcohol?
No.
Do you abuse drugs?
No.
How long have you been clean off of drugs?
18 years.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, sir.
Have you ever served in the military?
No, sir.
What's your highest degree of education?
12.
Are you currently employed?
Yes, sir.
Where at?
Lewis Tree Service.
And how long have you been working for Lewis Tree Service?
I've been there for 3 months. Before that, I ran my own business for the last 5 years.
What's your gross income?
$100,000 a year.
Do you have to maintain a license for this work at all?
Just CDL license, Class A.
Do you have a valid driver's license?
Yes, sir.
Are you married?
No, sir.
Do you have children?
Yes, sir.
How many?
3.
And do you do anything with your children that would indicate why you would want your ability to to have firearms?
Yes, sir. My grandkids are in shooting trap now. We are avid deer hunters and small game hunters, and I'd like to be able to show my grandkids how to properly use a firearm and hunt with them, and be able to hunt with my father for the last remaining of his years.
How old is your father?
77.
He still hunts?
Yes, sir.
And you'd like to be able to go out with him hunting?
Yes.
All right. That's the primary motive underlying your rationale for wanting to get your ability to have firearms restored in the limited fashion that it can be restored, correct?
Yes, sir.
You understand that this is for muzzle loader and for black powder or pellet rifles, correct?
Yes.
It's not for modern firearms, correct?
Correct.
You've had this explained to you, correct?
Yes.
Only for the state of Michigan. You can only do this in this state, correct?
Yes.
Under federal law, though, you're prohibited from possessing any modern firearms, correct?
Yes, sir.
What else is it that the court might want to consider in establishing that you're not likely to act in a manner that's dangerous or in violation of the safety of others?
Well, 18 years ago, I sat in here and looked at my mom and dad and told them goodbye before I went to prison. That sunk in pretty bad. It sank in really good. At my job, I employ felons that come straight out of prison. I have a pretty good rep with some of the parole agents that they'll send me freshly released inmates so that they can be reformed into society at work. Right now I have Jason Biesel, which just got paroled. He works for me. I have another one, Mike Nicoldum, that's just getting out of jail today, is going to come and work for me at Lewis Tree Service. So I try to be a good role model, because there's not really too many people that go through my charges and stay 18 years clean and sober and own their own home, own their own business, and they have a very productive job.
What motivates you to stay clean?
My grandkids, myself, my job. I don't want to lose everything that I've worked for so hard since I've been out.
What did you learn from the experience?
I learned that taking the easy way out is not always the proper way. If Judge Dodge or Victor Fitz was here, I'd thank them for saving my life. Because without me going to prison, I'd have probably been dead. Cass County saved me. And that's why I try to pay back to the community as much as possible.
No further questions.
All right. Attorney Ronnie, any questions?
Only for clarification, date-wise, because I believe the statute requires there to be a 5-year gap between the payment of all fines and completion of all probation. Do you know when your fines were paid off?
They were paid off in 2012.
All right. Prior, before 2020?
Mm-hmm.
All right, thank you. I think we needed that clarification, but other than that, no question.
I only have one question too. In reference to Berrien County, the Berrien County case, when did you serve your time there, do you recall?
Your Honor, I think it was in 2000, so it was a long time ago.
Okay, and the reason I ask is it appears from the face of the document that was when you served it. It shows that in May 13, 2003, you served 15 days. But if you look at the bottom of the document, it's dated January 23rd of 25 by Judge Pasula. And the reason, so I called over to Berrien County personally to find out why. Now, I didn't receive a call back. And I don't know if that was, because I noticed your application was filed in March. and it was actually dated in January. So I initially thought, well, maybe it was in response to you calling over and they couldn't find a judgment, so Judge Pitsula signed it as part of the record. But it was actually predates the filing of your application. So it didn't make any sense to me that it would be dated January 23rd of 2025, which would indicate that he just served the 15 days for a bench warrant. Did you receive a bench warrant for not having paid fines or costs or anything?
No, sir.
And it doesn't appear that way from the face of the document at all. It's just when I looked at the date, I had some question because obviously that brings the 5-year, time frame into.
If I might approach, Your Honor.
Pardon?
If I might approach.
Sure.
He was interviewing with me in January, and I told him to get his judgment of sentences because he wants certified copies for your file.
Okay.
This is blue ink, so she just signed it, it looks like, when he was getting his judgment of sentence, and you can see it's barely visible as the certification stamp in the document itself. Although I realize that that's still in a gray area, did he actually serve it? I think your conclusion that it was, she was just signing it on that date when he was getting it is accurate.
Okay, and I just, and the reason, that's why I thought that maybe it was in response to the application, but then I noticed you didn't file till March. You indicated that he first came to your office in January, so you said go over to Barron County, get the judgments. Okay, that made sense to me if it was signed. Normally though, it has a clerk stamp and it still has the judge's original signature on it.
Correct.
So that's what made me question it. Okay. Any argument then, Attorney LeBray?
Your Honor, I think that restoring his gun rights is appropriate. We've made our proofs as far as the statute is concerned. 18 years sobriety, him coming in and thanking Victor Fitz and Judge Dodge. I don't think I've ever seen that before. And I think that goes to show the merits of his rehabilitation in this manner, and that he doesn't pose a danger to the safety of others, and that in this limited capacity that we can restore his gun rights, it is appropriate that we do so. Thank you.
Attorney Ryan.
Your Honor, I just want to indicate, I think we get expressions of gratitude quite frequently, just usually not from defendants or people that are prosecuted. But so I do appreciate that, and I think it's worth noting, if unless I'm mistaken, when I was here my first time those years ago, I was actually involved in the prosecution of this defendant, Mr. Hardline. So it is good to see. It is legitimately good to see that maybe it worked out. So, Your Honor, we would leave the final decision to the discretion of the court. I would indicate that I'm glad it's placed on the record, and Mr. Hardline understands this, is that this is would only be regarding very limited weapons to be able to possess. You still would not be able to possess, again, modern firearms. And just for clarification, if the court does grant this, I think the message needs to be sent to Mr. Hardline. If he is with his children or his father, he can't carry their guns for them if they're bringing modern guns. You just want to be really careful about that. Other than that, we leave it to your discretion.
And if they are carrying their guns, they have to make sure they're broken down properly and everything, or based on the testimony that the court has heard in here today, Mr. Hartline, I did note you were convicted, obviously back in 2008. You served, you were given a 45-month to 20-year sentence on the maintaining meth lab charge, as well as the, very lesser sentences under the 4 charges that you were convicted of in that file. And you do have the one other additional matter in Barron County, which, based on my review and based on what you indicate, I'm satisfied there's been way more than 5 years. Like I said, it kind of indicates you served that 15 days over 20 years ago, 22 years ago, actually. So, and the court is satisfied, based on the testimony that had received, that your reputation, that you've testified to, what you've accomplished since being released from prison and parole. You've paid all your fines and costs. You're currently employed, your kids through service for a short time. You had your own business, your CDL, you got grandchildren, children, and indicated you've been clean for 18 years. Court is satisfied that here on the record that you're not likely to act in a manner that's dangerous to the safety of other individuals or the community. So I'll go ahead and grant the order restoring your rights to possess, use, transport, sell, ship, or distribute firearms or ammunition But again, we've talked about all the limitations, and it sounds like Attorney LeBray's really expressed that to you, what your limitations are.
Yes, sir.
And so I want to commend you myself as well. Attorney Ronnie, he was involved in the original prosecution. I just want to commend you for taking it upon yourself to provide, mentoring and role models for people that come out of prison, parolees and things of that nature, because obviously you've lived it, and you've bettered yourself. And this is another lesson you can pass along to them as well, that if you do those things, you can have rights that have been taken away from you restored. So I just want to commend you for what you've done, and we'll go ahead and issue the order.
Thank you.
Attorney LeBray, anything further?
Nothing further.
No, yeah, thank you.
All right, we'll go ahead and...
I'm gonna follow him out the door real quick and say one more thing, and then I think I've got the next one with
Sure.
Mr. Johnson.
All right, the next matter of call is file 24-0367 PP, Christine Dawn Johnson versus Zachary Taylor Johnson. This matter is on the court's docket on a motion to show cause, providing the first objection or this court issue back on July 15, 2024. Mr. Johnson, the respondent, is present, and you're Zachary Taylor Johnson, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Attorney LeBray is here on his behalf, having filed his appearance on June 27th. And representing the prosecutor's office, Attorney Levin, you're handling this matter?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, good. Attorney Nicholas Levin then is present here on behalf of the people. Are the parties ready to proceed?
Your Honor, I had a chance to discuss this matter with Attorney LeBray this morning. He was just recently retained this past weekend regarding this matter and hasn't had a chance to delve into the case. He told me that there are some witnesses that he believes would be beneficial to the defendant's defense in this matter that he would like to follow up on and then potentially call. I would have no objection for adjourning this matter, which I believe would be his request, and the prosecution in meeting with Ms. Johnson, who is here this morning. She is in our office. There are additional allegations that she has brought to light that we would want to amend the motion or the alleged PPO violation to contain.
So when can you get the amendments done? Get the amendment done out to Attorney LeBray? I'm just trying to look at the time.
By the end of the week, Your Honor.
By the end of the week.
Yeah.
And, realizing that's we've got the fourth, a short week here, but.
Yeah.
Okay, and Attorney LeBray, how long are you gonna need to interview witnesses?
I could get this ready probably within a matter of hours and contact the witnesses.
So you wanna
It's just a
come back
matter
this
of my
afternoon?
schedule
You wanna
being a
come back
complete
this
mess.
afternoon? Is that it?
What's that?
You wanna come back this afternoon then?
It's all open. I'm wide open this afternoon.
I'm just kidding. So if we get it set in a couple of weeks, that'll be fine.
Probably, if I could, I'd like to schedule it with Your Honor right now so that there's no, I've got a trial that day or an evidentiary hearing or in-person hearing or anything like that, if that's
Vacations
possible.
coming up.
No vacations.
You're done with that.
I'm done. It was only a trip with 4 kids.
July 21st is Monday. We can do it in the morning on the court's 10 o'clock docket.
I could move what I've got there and do the 10 o'clock docket, correct?
Okay.
I could do that.
And that works for you too?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
And then Attorney LeBray, obviously, they'll get the amended paperwork to you. And then if you have any witnesses, obviously, just get that information to the prosecutor's office as well, so that they have an opportunity to rebut it or to at least talk to the witnesses. All right. Anything further, counsel?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
Attorney LeBray, anything further?
Nothing further, Your Honor, other than, do you want him to report to the police right out front? They're leaving. Okay. They'll get you for the new stuff.
And then, just Mr. Johnson, I should tell you that personal protection order is still in effect, so realize that they're amending pleadings, that if there are any future violations of the personal protection order, they can add that as well, okay?
All right, thank you.
Last matter the court has on its docket is file 94, 08098FH, People's State of Michigan versus Rodney Lee Williams. Attorney LeBray, I'm not on this case, but I think you were originally on the case.
There's the old man with Margaret Criera.
That was not you, yeah, that would have been well before your time.
I think I was just a little tight back
I
then.
thought the same thing. I just thought he had everything today. And I realized with Margaret's name on there that this was the elder, Mr. LeBray.
Given Jason's distinction, though, who was even on that case way back when.
All right, well, I'm ubiquitous now. I'm everywhere.
All right. File 94, 08098FH, People's State of Michigan versus Rodney Lee Williams, and you're Mr. Williams?
Yes, sir.
All right, and Mr. Williams is present here today. He's filed an application to set aside a conviction that was filed on April 22nd. I do note that I did receive a response from the Michigan State Police in that matter. I didn't receive anything from the Attorney General's office, but they are here. The only reason I raise it is because I don't see a proof of service on the application that was filed by you, Mr. Hartline, but I'm assuming there was service or the Michigan State Police would not have.
I did, just to be clear, you said Mr. Hartline, that was the last defendant.
I mean, excuse me, Mr. Williams. And so I just, my question is did you serve the Attorney General's office or just the prosecutor or state police?
I was locked up for 90 days. So,
No, when you filed
the
the application,
uh-huh.
you were locked up when you filed your
No,
application?
that's been,
No, I know. No, that's what I said. No, when you filed your application to set aside the conviction, I see the application is on file, and I show that there was notice provided to, it says to the Attorney General and Victor Fitz, it had a notice of hearing for today, but it doesn't show that it was served on them.
oh, I don't know. All I know is I filled paperwork out and then I turned it in like they told me to
To
do.
the clerk's office?
Yes, ma'am. Sure. Yes, sir.
Okay, I guess, did you send certified copies of the application to the
Yes, sir.
Attorney General's office?
Yes, sir.
Okay, there's just no proof that you did that. Do you have any proof or verification that you did it?
All I got is the little paperwork.
Well, why don't you go ahead, give it to the bailiff and I'll look at it. Like I said, I'm assuming that you probably did because we got a Michigan State Police response. It's just there was no proof for the record. Okay, I do show some notes in here. It says your signature and date that it was mailed to the Attorney General. Did you take that and mail it to the Attorney General?
Yes.
Okay, do you have your certified copy of the mailing of the Attorney General's office?
That's all we can see, what you got, what I got there, that's all I received.
Okay, but if you filed certified, the post office will give you a certified receipt.
Don't it do?
Because the file room says your signature and date, and then it says date mailed to the Attorney General. And they've got the addresses down, so they gave you the information and that's why I'm assuming you did it because we did get a response from the state police. It's just, I didn't have anything from the Attorney General, and we don't always have that. 90% of the time we have a response from the Attorney General's office. But in this case, I didn't see the receipt. I see 2 envelopes here, one to the circuit court. I don't see
He probably
the
dropped it out. He must have dropped it out because we went to the post office, we did it certified, we did it there. So maybe when he was going through the paperwork, trying to come here, because we live in Cincinnati, probably dropped it out at home. But we did have certified papers from the post office where we did it.
Okay, and what you should do is file that proof with the clerk's office so that when it comes to court, I know that it's actually been served. Like I said, their information on here indicates that it was, it looks like you did run down and mail it to the state police because they've given you the address as well as the Attorney General's office. Like I said, I'm assuming it was done because I did receive a response from the state police, so, okay. Attorney Ronning, like I said, the fact that I do have a response from the state police would indicate to me that they probably sent it out. It's right on there on the same form with, but I don't know what your position is.
Given, I believe this is just a 1-count request for an expungement, not that minimizes it, but it does erase any sort of complication. Usually we rely on the Attorney Generals because they're the expert in this particular field.
Right, and depending on what the penalties are in one.
Exactly. That doesn't seem to be an issue here. It seems pretty black and white. So we would have no objection to proceeding today.
All right. Mr. Williams, and what I'd have you do though, if you can find that receipt, I'm gonna take the proofs. If you can find that certified receipt, if you can make sure that that gets filed with our clerk's office, you could mail it in, show that it's filed, because like I said, I'm assuming that it was done because we in fact did get the response from the state police, so it wouldn't have made sense to go down there and only send notice to the state police. All right, we'll go ahead and proceed. You filed an application requesting that your conviction be set aside here. Mr. Williams, I'm going to have you raise your right hand if you would, please. Do you solemnly swear or affirm under penalties of perjury that the testimony you will give in this matter now pending before the court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, sir.
You put your hand down. Could you state your full name for the record, please, and spell your name, please?
Rodney Lee Williams, RODNEY LEE WILLIAMS.
Okay. And Mr. Williams, how old are you, 67?
67,
Your date of birth is
9/20/57.
57. Okay, you filed this application to set aside your conviction. And can you tell the court why you filed this petition and what your reasons are, why you want it?
Well, because I was working at Children's Hospital, like I said, I live in Cincinnati, and I was working at Children's Hospital for 18 years. And then I had a stroke, so I've been off for 2 years. And then when I went back, I had to go through the background check and all that again. So they ran my background check and this popped up. And then I was a crossing guard for Cincinnati Public School. And I was working for the police department, and then the school took over. And they did background check and then it popped up. So I figured if I need to get my job, try to get my jobs back, I gotta get rid of this.
All right. So what did you do for the police department?
I was a crossing guard.
So and then it was the school took it over.
Yes, sir.
And then when the school ran the background check,
Yes, sir.
They said that you couldn't work at the school because you had the felony.
Yes, sir.
Interesting. The police didn't seem to have a problem with it.
I was thinking the same thing.
No, I understand that. Where else may get it? And then you said you worked at the Children's Hospital? in
Yes,
Cincinnati?
sir. I worked for a contractor.
Okay.
Which
so
was
now-
called.
And then, how long did you work there?
I worked there 18 years, but
18
there
years.
was 3 different contractors that I worked under
Okay. And then, when did you have your stroke, sir?
2 years ago.
And then, so you've recovered enough now, you want to get back?
Trying to I want to work
Okay.
part-time somewhere. Yes.
Just work part-time. And obviously, with the school or the children's hospital, the offense that we have here, because we just have the one offense, the possession of, must have been cocaine.
Yes, sir.
25 grams. Looks like you were, date of offense was in February of '94, you were sentenced in September '94, you had fines and costs and did 90 days, correct?
Yes, sir.
And then you also had that same year a domestic violence where you had fines and costs and probation, you did 10 days? And that in, looks like in September?
I don't know if I did, I don't know if I did that or not.
Okay. It's just, it was on the Michigan State Police. But if it doesn't show anything on that, you know, it does show. Interesting, I wonder if that was, I wonder why it's on. Yeah, it just shows the same year you received 6 months probation and you got 10 days in jail. All right. Turning around, are you married right now?
Yes, sir. That's my wife right there.
That's your wife?
Yes,
Okay.
sir. That's correct.
And so you're just looking at getting this because so you get some part-time employment?
Yes, sir.
And with your history, obviously you might be able to go back to some of the same locations.
Okay.
Okay, all right. Turning around, any questions?
No, yeah, thank you.
All right, all right. Based on testimony I heard and based on what you've indicated as well, turning around, it seems to be pretty straightforward. It's a possession of controlled substances from 1994, so we're talking 21 years ago. It sounds like you're a good, productive member of the community, and when I look at the statute, I don't see anything in here. I think the reasons that you've indicated are obviously legitimate. You've obviously, it's interesting that you worked at the Children's Hospital for 18 years,
Right.
and didn't come back to Honkia. Worked as a crossing guard for the police department, didn't come back to Honkia. You worked as a crossing guard at school, I said for all those years as well. And then all of a sudden you had your stroke,
Right.
and now you've reapplied. They're all running the background checks saying, hey, we can't let you do this because
Right,
of this
right.
conviction. So I think it is under MCL 780, 621D that it is at the circumstances of your behavior from the date of conviction to the filing of the application would warrant this, and that it would be consistent with the public welfare. And we'll go ahead and enter an order setting aside the conviction. You did file an order to set aside the conviction, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You're from Cincinnati?
Yes.
Okay.
Excuse me. Actually, we are from
We're
here,
actually from here.
when we moved to
We
Cincinnati.
moved to.
Yeah, but you're in Cincinnati?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Do you want this order today, or do you want, or they'll probably mail it to you?
Can we get it today?
Yeah, I mean, and what I'll do, and the reason I said that is I'll go back and I'll do the order. I'll have to get it to the clerk's office, then we can let them know that they're here from Cincinnati and get them to process it. But I'll do it this morning for
Okay.
you.
All
Let me
right.
take our break, okay?
All right.
Thank you.
So, and the clerk's, the clerk's office is down there where you filed everything?
Yes.
Yeah, and then we'll just let them know when I've signed it. I'll go ahead and upload it and get it down to them, and then you should be able to get a certified copy to take with you.
Okay.
And you can show that your conviction is set aside.
Okay, that sounds good.
All right. Anything further, Attorney Ryan?
No, yeah, thank you.
Mr. Williams, do you have any questions for the clerk?
No, sir.
All right, we'll go ahead and stand in recess, and then I'll go back and do that order, and then I'll just go down to the clerk's office, and then we'll contact her and get that order and have it take it back with you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right.
First, stand in recess until call bailiff.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.